Hello, and welcome to another segment of Talk About It. I'm your host, Patrick Corson, with my co-host today, Tommy
Hello.
Bledsoe. Hey, I'm famous, okay. Not that way. If you remember last week, we were talking about some of the cultural issues that many deaf people face today. And we just briefly touched on a subject of SSI and SSDI,
Yeah,
Supplemental
SSI.
Security Income
Correct.
and Social Security Disability Income. We're going to talk about some of those other issues next week, but my understanding is that you've got some very strong opinions about that subject. So, oh yes, very much so, okay. At this point, I'm going to ask you, what do you think about it? Well, first of all, I have mixed feelings about SSI and SSDI and SSI. Two big differences between those two things. First, SSI is a supplemental security income for people who don't have to work. SSDI is a disability insurance,
okay.
if you will. People who want to work, but they're injured and they can't, so these two are different. I'm in favor of seeing deaf people receive SSI whenever they go to college. They can support themselves. Room and board, food, school, like voc rehab support. I myself was an SSI recipient back in 1970 to 1975 when I was going to school at Gallaudet. Then I transferred over to CSUN. After graduation, I went to work and then stopped receiving my SSI payments. At first, I was a little ashamed. I thought, it's almost like welfare. I was too proud, But one counselor at the office said, no, think about it like you're working now. You're earning an income while you're in school. You get good grades, and you get a reward. I went, oh, okay, not a bad idea. Fine, okay, I accepted that. No, it didn't insult my honor, if you know what I mean.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And this was supposed to be what it was supposed to be as a way to help you.
Yes.
If you can't work, you're in school full time. That is correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So, but lately I've seen more and more abuse of SSI. More and more deaf. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody, but you see a lot of deaf people out there who are well-bodied, well able to work, and they just want to be on the dole. They just want a good party time. So that's what I complain about. That's what I draw the line. I work and I have to pay them to party, and they should go on and do something better for themselves, and I'm all supportive of that. Do you think that there's many deaf out there who are abusing this kind of a system? Yes, I think so. For example, this was back in 1980. I knew of one couple. I'm not going to mention names or anything. Both of them deaf. They adopted 4 deaf kids. And they sent deaf kids to the deaf school in the area. They were drawing a month $4,500 a month. Can you imagine that? $4,500 a month? Wow. What do? They just play time. They visit and travel. Really, it really ticked me off. I mean, it made me sick. Where's their pride? I was happy that somebody reported them to Social Security. They were caught, and both of them went to jail for fraud. Really? Yep. So you better be careful. So, because they're deaf, they're supposed to be able to earn a living. If they can't earn a living, and they can't work, there's no work available, what are they supposed to do? I mean, that's a problem. Yeah. There are so many loopholes. The ability, unable. One of the reasons that they were reported was because they were also abusing the children. So the school reported the children were abused. So after the investigation, and the guy himself was working at part-time as a minister, a pastor. So he wasn't reporting his income to the IRS. To the IRS for an awfully long time. The IRS investigated and caught him.
Wow.
So to me, that's fine. That's, you know, that's your tough luck. You deserved it. You flaunted it. You thought it was easy, no big deal. I'm never going to get caught. And I'm just burning and burning and burning here. Okay. So I went to my old school reunion, let's say maybe about 20 years ago. And it was a meeting. The first day we have a meeting for the new president and almost different sorts of things, different officers. One guy asked me what my opinion about how to improve school, the curriculum, what do we do. At that time, my school was a really good school. It's since gone downhill now, but they had training programs, vocational programs, training, how to cook, how to sew, I mean, all kinds of things. One thing I would always just flat against, I don't think about stopping encouraging deaf students to sign up for SSI. Why don't you instead teach them a trade? Computers, car mechanic, a writer, a teacher. Encourage SSI, encourage SSI. I complained about that. After the reunion, I went home and I received a letter from one of the officers there. He said he was really pleased with, and I agree with you what you said. It made me feel pretty good, actually. I could see, you know, I see different people, they're different talking and explanations about their friends who are abusing the system. But at the same time, it's not really the deaf's fault. It's how hearing people look at them. They say, hey, you know, I don't have time to deal with this person, so I can't train them, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do.
That's the other hand.
On one hand you have abuse of the system by some people,
Yeah.
and on the other hand, you have many deaf who can't find work because they are discriminated against because they are deaf. Yes, that's true. So they really have no choice, but they have to take SSI. Well, yeah, that's true. But they should make more of an effort. You know, try to find something. Where's your pride?
Right. I understand.
I don't see many deaf have pride. They just accept it and live with it. And I've noticed that there's been an increase in foreign people who are collecting SSI. They're not even Americans. And I'm looking at this and I really complain. That sounds almost like one of our immigration issues.
Yeah,
Definitely is.
interesting.
So I've been thinking that maybe we don't have a very clear and easy answer to this particular problem, other than to say that maybe it would be a good idea for the deaf to not stop trying, keep trying, regardless of whether it can be extremely frustrating.
Oh yeah.
And very hard, and it's just so difficult to keep every day getting up and
Get up
challenging
and
and
try,
challenging
I know.
and challenging the world that doesn't want you.
Interesting.
It's not easy. More and more with technology, the wonderful technology, it benefits us all, but at the same time, it's against our work. We have smaller workforces, everything moves along a lot faster, and there's so many conflicts. Now I'm even more confused about this issue. Poor guy, you have my sympathy. Okay. On that note, I'm going to say, okay, look, we've talked enough about it, so we'd like to hear from you.
Your feedback.
What's your opinion? You can post it on the website. You know where it is. I want to say thank you for joining us, and for Tommy Bledsoe, and here's Patrick Corson. He's the boss. He's the CEO of the company, of the business here.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. See you next time.